Welcome to part 2 of this series. Now let's begin.
The arrow shows you need to pull the film side to side. As you're doing this, notice how the film falls into the deep recess naturally. Then begin squeegeeing anywhere the film is laying flat. If you see the fingers, leave this till later. This means there's a compound curve in the fender which you'll need to heat and shape the film to it then. Using your finger as a squeegee, make sure the film is properly adhered to the recessed channel. Once you've finished with the recessed channel, lift the film off the top part of the fender and finish squeegeeing the remaining film, which you can lay down flat without heat. You see how the film has fingers in this area? This is caused by a buildup of excess film from the compound area of the fender. We need to take the excess film and put it to good use by directing it into the channel as you see here. Repeat the same step for the other side. Squeegee the remaining film that you can lay down flat before we need to use heat. As you can see, I am squeegeeing side to side with firm overlapping strokes. This is to assure there is no bubbles left or trapped underneath the film. Making a relief cut here will help you finish off the top part of the fender easier. Here is a very useful tip. Always heat the film from your hands to the squeegeed area. Don't worry, I'll explain this very soon. Now, squeegee the film that you've heated and shaped to the fender.
The squeegee line represents where the loose film meets the adhered film to the fender. It's basically where you left off squeegeeing. To avoid adhesive lines, heat the film from your hand to the squeegee line. By doing this, the squeegee line will receive the heat last, which will lessen the chance of getting any adhesive lines. It doesn't matter what I wrap. I tackle the compound curved area the same, shown here in these two examples. Also, notice how the hand is holding the film. I'm not pulling or overstretching the film. All I'm doing is relaxing and letting the film shrink so I can shape it to the fender. As for the recessed channel, heat the film once again but not too hot. Then use your finger, drag, and follow along the deepest part of the recessed channel. Notice as I do this, the film is forming to the shape of the vehicle. It almost looks like magic. Lift the film off and squeegee the remaining film to the fender. No heat should be required for this step. If you see fingers, lift the film off the vehicle, heat from your hands to your squeegee line, and then, once it's formed, squeegee the remainder of the film down. This is where I see people try to cold stretch the fingers away. It's much easier to heat, shrink, and relax the film instead of trying to pull the fingers away cold. Repeat the same process to the right side of the fender. Heat from your hand to the squeegee line. If you're going to remember one thing from this video, it's always to start heating from your hand. Simple, right? Now with both hands, pull and shape the film to the fender. Heat the film, but remember not too hot. Then use your finger, drag, and follow along the deepest part of the recessed channel. Lift the film off and squeegee the remaining film to the fender. Now lift the film up again, heat and relax the film, shrinking it and then molding it to the fender. Then you're able to take your squeegee and squeegee the rest on. For the final step, just go over it with a heat gun. You're looking for trapped air, bubbles, anything you could push down, because that's the last thing you want to see when you bring your wrap outside is bubbles to appear. So the benefit by following these steps will leave you with no adhesive lines. Just remember, always heat from your hand to the squeegee line. Other than that, if you want to click on the link in the description below, you can learn more about 3M films. This Friday I'll release part 3 of the series, and this will deal with post-heating and measuring the stretch into that deep recess. This will ensure that your wrap will have no issues and have a long lasting life. And that's it. Thank you very much. See ya.